Joint Admission and Matriculation Board on Monday revealed that only 420,415 candidates scored above 200 in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination out of the total who sat for the test, representing just 25%. Statistical data released by the board indicated that fewer than 1% of candidates scored above 300, with the vast majority falling below the 200 mark. JAMB also disclosed that 40,247 underage candidates were allowed to take the exam as a measure to identify exceptional ability. Only 467 underage candidates, about 1.16%, met the threshold for exceptional performance. The board noted, adding that further assessment will continue across 3 more stages. The report added that 97 candidates were caught in examination infractions, while 2,157 others are under investigation for suspected malpractice. Additionally, 71,701 candidates were marked absent. Candidates with biometric challenges are also undergoing investigation, and those cleared will be rescheduled to take the exam at approved centers. Meanwhile, results for blind candidates and the JEOG category are still being processed. JAMB said to hold a press conference later in the week to announce official results checking procedures. I want to gather your thoughts on this report first. Then on the other hand, I want to know why we still had more than half, way over half of the students failing this exam after there was a mock in preparation for the exam. Let me get your thoughts on this report.
Well, you want to know why? Which one do you want to know first?
No, I want to know, gather your thoughts on the report. Then on the other hand, when you're done with that, or putting into consideration, why do we have so many students? And this is to you simply, you've been in academia. Why? What do you think? What do you think is wrong that we had this sort of turnout, despite the fact that there was a mock preparation in lieu before the exam started?
Well, you have to, if everybody, almost everybody, fails an exam, you need to question the people that set the exam. So everybody cannot fail an exam. You need to question the people that set the exam, and you need to also question the people that prepared the candidates. These are the people you need to question first.
Okay.
So JAMB has to take responsibility. It needs to take its own share of the responsibility.
What is their responsibility in this?
Now, is it that the questions you are setting are difficult, are too difficult for these candidates? So you need to take a look at that. It's part of your research. But
of course, we have an accepted curriculum in Nigeria. So do you think these questions are drawn out of the curriculum, or do you think schools do not implement this curriculum to get their students better prepared?
I think every school follows the curriculum.
Okay.
But the method of setting questions may differ.
Okay. From
the curriculum or from the expectations of the students. So the JAMB people need to ask whether what they set or how they set the question was too difficult for them. So that's that. But coming to the students, I want to tell you that so many people writing JAMB are underage. Many of them are underage. They are not supposed to be writing JAMB. Many people want to finish. Many parents want their children to finish going to school on time. For what reason? Allow your child to learn gradually. That is the best method to learn. You want your child to write JAMB because he's 15 years, 16 years. Years back, in the olden days, you could see that somebody would be 19, 20, 21 writing WAEC. 19, 18, 19, from 18 to 20 writing WAEC. By that time, that person's mentality would be mature enough to assess to read and understand. Many of these children that are writing jams, go to their classes and see the kind of noise they make in their classes. There is no concentration at all.
So are you saying that they're not psychologically developed enough?
Yes, many of them are not psychologically mature.
But they have gone through the regimen of the secondary school, education,
that is
primary secondary education.
If you take a look at the system,
okay,
many of them when they fail to do well, do they repeat classes? They don't. They don't repeat classes. In fact, if a child fails now, the kind of society we have now, if a child fails, the parents will withdraw the child. The parents will blame the school and not the child or themselves. Your child failing means that he is not good enough for that class. He needs to step down, or he needs to repeat the class. That is the best method. I think I told you last time how I repeated primary 5. Yes. I did not fail, but my mother saw that I had poor results, and she decided that I must repeat primary 5. And when I repeated primary 5, it was the best time of my life, of my education. I learned so many things.
So why then do you think now parents do not let their children repeat classes?
I wouldn't know. Maybe because of I wouldn't. I might even suspect that it's because of the school fees they pay, the money they pay. They don't. They maybe in their calculations, in their own budget, they have calculated the years their child will spend in school. How much
is that a wrong way of calculating?
I don't
given what life is becoming, is that a wrong way of getting the idea together? But I want to before we move on from here to where you're headed just now. Do you think that this is a fault of the school or a fault of the parents that children do not get to repeat classes?
Now, you also have to blame some schools, because some schools, because of how parents now react. Because of how some parents now react, they don't want any child to fail. So what they do is that whatever thing they can do to make sure that child scrapes through that class, especially during the final exams, they will do it. But you are not helping the child. If a child doesn't do well, let it appear that the child fail to do the right thing or fail to pass. You will help the child. But and I've seen some instances where the child refused to repeat. Said if I repeat, I will stop going to school. Everybody has that kind of mentality. Even when I was asked to repeat, I said in this life I will not. My classmates will be laughing at me, and my former classmates will be, they will be seeing me as a failure. So all those things, when you consider all those things, when a child considers all those things, the child will feel bad that you want to disgrace or humiliate him. So, but if he can take the shame, just swallow the shame. It's for your own good.
Right.
Repeat the class. You see how you excel. And now, another instance I have to give is that some people are late developers. Okay. Everybody can excel at school, but it's not everybody that is exceptional.
Right.
So you have to look at it from that angle. Now, I remember when I was in secondary school, most of the things I was being taught, I didn't really understand them, even though I understood them. But to memorize them, to make them a part of my consciousness, I found it difficult. I thought it was by cramming. I didn't know that it was by constant reading.
Right.
Bringing your face to something, bringing your eyes to something all the time will make you become familiar to that thing. No matter how it appears in any other place, we will recognize that this is that thing I saw before.
Right.
So now I didn't understand some things until I finished going to school. I finished my secondary school. started reading at home.
And that is when you
preparing myself.
Right.
If I tell you how, go to Imo State University, I was the second highest scorer in my department.
Right.
Well,
we love to hear it, and I hope most parents choose that approach. I mean, not pulling their child on, and so we'll have better results in the forthcoming JAMB.